Right, don't know if you can see me just there, everybody. So, as mentioned, where's me? There's me, in the car. I'm at Hartsholme Country Park, just on the outskirts of Lincoln, and behind me is a very nice panorama I'm trying to take as the sun comes up in about half an hour or so. So, I think I might just get set up, and once there's some more light, then I can have a quick chat with you and tell you what's going on. Alright, so hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of light in the sky now. I've actually got the camera set up behind me. Nice view of the little white bridge there. If you ever come down here, they built a new bridge a couple of years back. So we've got the island about there. There is a white bridge in there somewhere. Yeah, so just shooting some long exposures right now. Try and get some of that beautiful blue sky as it comes up. It's going to get ever brighter. Yeah, -4, bit nippy. Why are we up this early? The things we do. But you know, there's cars going by, so people are awake. So what I'm going to do is a little bit more light, capture this scene, and then perhaps go back to my original plan of doing a panorama across here to get the lake from this side to this side, using quite a long lens. I've got my 70-200 on because we're right the other side of the lake. And once the sun comes up a bit more, I might go down and stand on that white bridge and try and perhaps shoot back this other way. Alright, see how it goes. So that was me doing a panorama across the lake there. Actually now the light's gone up, you can see how glassy smooth there's going to be with long exposures, it being frozen and everything. But effectively what I'm doing is making sure the camera's level, and then with a 2-second timer, taking the first shot, moving across a little bit, letting the camera settle, another shot, move across a little bit more, let it settle, again 2-second timer, lets the camera settle down. And so we don't get any shakes. I see the sun's coming up from behind the camera now, so I'm hoping that in around about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, just the tips of these trees here should get some beautiful golden winter sunlight on them. So we'll hang around a bit longer and we'll see what happens. Right, so as I'm a fickle individual, I wasn't really loving the composition over that side, so I'll come around to the other side of the bridge, leave it out of breath because it's quite a walk, and now I'm trying to get a view of the bridge. I'll turn you around and show you in just a second. Beautiful pink clouds starting to show behind the bridge, a little bit of foreground interest. I'm just trying to pick up some of the ice and leaves poking through the ice, with the bridge in the background and the pink sky. So let me just spin you around and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we can see we've got some nice foreground interest, we've got the bridge in the background, and we've got that beautiful sky just coming up. So spin around, there's the camera, and we'll see what we can get. So, other than a few walkers and early morning types, really, if you ignore the sound of the traffic on the bypass, it is quite peaceful here. Birds singing their dawn chorus, a few ducks dabbling where the lake isn't frozen. So you know, it's actually worth getting up this morning when it's still dark and frozen and cold. But hopefully we've got some nice pictures to come out of it, and yeah, it's just lovely. Anyway, so just bringing around here on the back of the screen here, we're focusing on the foreground interest first, and let me put the self timer back on to avoid any jiggling. So here's that, and now what I'll do is I will then move the focus point up, focus on the bridge. Oh, let's try that again. Then what I can do, I can blend those two images together so we get a nice sharp foreground all the way through to the rear. And I'm actually really loving, I don't know if you can see if I spin you around onto the bridge here. So if you actually look here, here's my foreground interest here. Got some beautiful ice on the lake, and then just below the bridge, and then the bridge itself. And as you can see, some lovely colours up behind the trees in the background. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring those colours out and give some lovely vibrance and depth to this otherwise quite snowy scene. Right, well, whilst I'm here, I'm going to do one of my favourites again, another little panorama. So again, I'm going to start over on the left here, work my way around covering the bridge, hopefully getting all this lovely white down here somewhere, all this lovely whiteness on the lake. I might try a few different angles, and yeah, should be good. Just a little nudge, let it settle, 2-second timer. And of course, using a mirrorless camera, there's no mirror flapping about in there to potentially cause any shock. And again, leaving a fair bit of space around what I'm envisaging as the final image. When you do stitch these images together, if there's a little bit of wobble there, you do lose a bit around the edge. So it's good to just frame a little bit wide, so you've got plenty more. It's worth noting, of course, that I focused on the bridge to start with, so that is my point of aim, keeping everything else the same as I go around, so as not to change any other sort of depths of field. Right, where are you? Here we go. So I think this might be my last, get myself steady, my last setup for the morning, before it gets too bright, but I just wanted to show you that the ever-present bridge behind me here, and if I just adjust the tripod like that, and just swing you around across the beautiful lake. Isn't that gorgeous? So I'm going to try and get one more panorama here. Quite sweeping, and that is quite good there with the island reflecting in the water and the ice. So we'll get the camera out and we'll see what we can do. So I'm just getting that island. The light is just hitting the trees beautifully right now. Nice reflection in the lake. Some of the water, some is ice. But yeah, it is actually quite lovely. Using quite a, so what it says in there, 1/25 of a second, f11 ISO 100. Got the 35mm on it, which gives me just enough, just a wide enough angle of view. I don't want to go massively wide. I can do a panorama for that. Joggers. So, last thing I'm going to do for this shot, again it's looking beautiful, is I'm going to bracket the shot quite dark trees still, very bright sky. So I'm going to just change my shutter speed, keep my aperture the same, keep ISO the same, just adapt my, my shutter speed so I can bring out all the shadow detail, which then I can merge, got the sky detail, and get a nice balanced image. So here I am, 1/6 of a second, and come down a bit, what's that, 1/13 of a second. And the great thing about this mirrorless camera is that I can see the changes on the screen as I make them. They're representative on the screen, so I can actually see the effect. So 1/30 of a second is actually getting quite bright now. Let's go 1/50. I think one more at, there you go, 1/100th of a second. And that, I think, I'm going to hang on a bit more as the light comes down, see how the character changes and how the reflections change, but I think I'll probably do this morning. We can tell the world is definitely waking up. Lots of dog walkers, lots of joggers, lots of very nasty looking skin tight high vis clothing. Worrying. But another couple of little slots I will try on the walk back to the car. There's a nice garden over here. It's still lovely and peaceful. Perhaps I'll get up early more often. Oh boy. Get the blower on. So cold. Alright, maybe I'm being soft, it's only -3. But not a bad little morning. What now? It's 8:30, so what have I been here? Hour and a half. If I had longer in my day, I might all stay a bit longer, but stuff to do.